Hello and welcome to my new quick edit video. This time I will be combining those shots you can see down here and combine them in Lightroom into an HDR. And finally I will be doing some heavy post-processing in Photoshop to make it look like a really bright autumn picture. The first thing I did was combine the HDR, therefore I selected the three different pictures you can see below and merge them together into an HDR image. Once that process is finished, I'm going through the basic things I always do at the start, like the camera calibration profile. And I'm looking for something which turns my image a bit more orange. Then I'm activating those two lens correction boxes. And now I can start with the basic editing. Therefore I'm going to down the highlights a bit. And I also have to reduce the chromatic aberration manually. The chromatic aberration can be seen here. Those magenta tones in the picture. If I push this slider to the right, it will reduce the amount of the chromatic aberration. Then I'm going to increase the shadows a bit. And also the contrast. And I also want to add a bit of clarity and vibrance. Now I'm going to apply a radial filter. This one will only affect the middle part of the image because I want the borders to be darker than usual. I'm going to add a bit of exposure here. And I'm downing the highlights just a little bit. Now I am going to apply a second radial filter for the sky part here. And here I'm going to reduce the clarity to give it a glowy effect. Maybe have to change the white balance a bit. Now I am getting rid of the saturation of the blue tones a bit. And I'm also going to push the yellows and the oranges just a little bit. And maybe decrease the green color tones. Then, like always, I'm going to sharpen it quite a bit and mask out areas I don't need sharpened. Now I'm going to apply a third radial filter for the waterfall because I think it could be a bit brighter. I'm also going to apply a lot of noise reduction to make the waterfall, especially the water, look smoother. Alright, I can now export it and I'm going to continue editing it in Photoshop. The first thing I want to do is to apply some sort of dodge and burn. Therefore I'm going to create a new layer and fill it with 50% gray. Then I'm going to change the blending mode to overlay. Then I'm going to select a bright color, like this light gray, and select my brush tool. And now I'm going to brush over the areas which I want to be a bit more brighter. And I'm also going to reduce the opacity of this layer. Then I'm going to merge those two layers. Then I'm going to apply some Nik Collection filters. Because I want an autumn look, I'm going to apply the Indian summer effect first. I'm going with the Ford method because it looks the most natural to me. And I'm also going to try to save some of the green areas down here, which look kind of fake right now. Therefore I'm going to apply layer mask on the Indian summer layer, choose a black foreground color and brush the areas away which I don't want to be affected by the effect. And now I'm going to apply the Indian summer filter once more. And I'm also going to copy the layer mask from the layer below. Therefore, I am pressing Ctrl and click on the layer mask. Then I'm selecting the top layer and just hit the layer mask button down here. Now I'm going to merge all those layers by hitting Ctrl E. The next filter I want to add is a bit of vignette to get the borders just a bit more darker. I'm going to use the polarization filter because it makes the colors you see here pop more out. I actually think I'm going to use this filter a second time. I also want to add a bit of dynamic contrast using the Pro contrast filter. And one last filter I want to apply is the classical soft focus. I'm going with the third method here, and I'm going to increase the strength just a little bit. And now I'm going to mask out areas which I don't want to be affected by this glow effect, just like the rocks here, or like all the floor on the bottom part. I think the waterfall could be a bit more brighter, so I'm going to use the dodge tool and slightly brush over areas here. And I also want to soften it a bit, therefore I'm going to use the blur tool and brush over it again. This will be the final result. I hope this video was helpful for some of you. Thank you for watching.